What bothers me about the critiques I get is that they don't acknowledge the points I myself made.
Fair enough.
Look, at the end of the day, Bill Maher is always going to Bill Maher. Meanwhile, the great Larry David, who has mocked this very movement in his show, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Obviously, a big part of this show is the MAGA hat.
For the first show, yeah.
Right. There are people that wear the MAGA hat and like what the MAGA hat represents. Are you afraid about alienating them? They could be fans of the show.
Alienate yourselves. Yeah. Go and alienate. You have my blessing. No, I could give a
Would speak his piece after Maher wined and dined with UFC CEO Dana White, Kid Rock, who somehow still was called Kid at 54 years old, and Donald Trump.
Oh, I mean, you can't go a day without thinking about what he's done to this country, because he's such a little baby that he's thrown 250 years of democracy out the window by not accepting the results of an... I mean, it's so crazy. He's such a sociopath. He's so insane. He just couldn't admit to losing. And we know he lost. He knows he lost. And look how he's fooled everybody. He's convinced all these people that he didn't lose. He's such a sick man. He's so sick. Anyway, no, it hasn't impacted me at all.
David unloaded on Maher, and he did it with an op-ed. I hope he doesn't get deported for writing such a thing. He titled it, "My Dinner with Adolf." David paints the picture well. It was spring of 1939, and a letter came to his doorstep from the world's most reviled man, Adolf Hitler. He details his critiques and how he was not encouraged by a soul to attend. He writes, "I knew I couldn't change his views, but we need to talk to the other side, even if it has invaded and annexed other countries and committed unspeakable crimes against humanity." Before continuing, keep this in mind. Maher, on his show, which is still airing on HBO, quipped to his loyalists in the seats, "I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around Donald Trump. I would never feel comfortable talking to Obama or Clinton the way I was able to talk with Trump. That's just how it went down. Make of it what you will. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days." Back to David. "Hitler gave me an enthusiastic greeting that caught me off guard. Frankly, it was a warmer greeting than I normally get from my parents, and it was accompanied by a slap on my back. I found the whole thing quite disarming." David also took a dig.
The president is so nattily attired normally that I think it was shocking to a lot of people.
The conservative hoopla over this piece of clothing.
What's upsetting is that it just showed him relaxed. It just showed him that he was on vacation. People are dying.
So it reinforced the wrong image.
Oh, it was a nightmare. And only the Democrats and only liberals could actually elect a guy with a tan suit.
When Nixon and Kennedy debated, Nixon wore a tan suit. And that didn't bode well for him, did it? It wasn't a suit of strength.
Thus, David penned, "I joked that I was surprised to see him in a tan suit because if he wore that out, it would be perceived as un-Fuhrer-like. That amused him to no end, and I realized I'd never seen him laugh before. Suddenly, he seemed so human." Remember this line from Maher as well? "Just for starters, he laughs. I've never seen him laugh in public," Maher stated to his live audience. But he does, including at himself. And it's not fake, believe me. As a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it, and I thank you for them. David chided Maher for remarking he had never seen Hitler laugh before, and thus witnessing it humanized him. Reading this piece is another example of how brilliant David is as a writer and why he has had such a successful career. The comedian would add in this write-up that the Big H would ask tons of inquisitive questions, including about David's recent breakup with a girlfriend. David typed that the woman he was no longer with remained insistent. He'd tell everything at all times that was discussed. When he mentioned he doesn't like having to remember every intricate detail of every convo he had, Hitler related to it. What am I, a secretary, he questioned. In his monologue, Maher read from the teleprompter, everything I've ever not liked about him, as in Trump, was, I swear to God, absent on this night with this guy. I know, your mind is blown, so is mine. Thus, David fired back, that it must be rather easy to be a dictator, which Hitler denied. They got along great in this meeting, with David even printing, we're not that different after all. I thought that if only the world could see this side of him, people might have a completely different opinion. David would pen his goodbyes to the Fuhrer, giving him thanks and stating that although they disagree on the issues, it simply should not mean one hates the other. He concludes, and with that I gave him a Nazi salute and walked out into the night. We have covered Bill Maher in the past. If you want to see some of those clips, check it out on demand. We go over his history of bigotry, his Islamophobia, how he got completely wrecked on his previous show, which was on the network ABC. I believe it was called Politically Incorrect, by Boots Riley, activist, director, etc. And how really none of us who are leftists are surprised at all by any of this. I think what's rather jarring, it's the reaction from centrists who are up in arms about this and shocked. Not shocked. If you followed any part of this guy's show for as long as he has been on television, this is who he is. If anything, it revealed to y'all who he is. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.